Oh, all right. We are live. First time doing this on Zoom, so hopefully it goes well. What's up, Lead Gen Beast? Matty Ice here, Leads for Locals. Got another awesome video for you today. Today, I have my new friends from the WAVV team. I've got Caden and Sydney here. Really excited to have you guys. Appreciate your time. We are going to be talking about the WAVV Power Dialer and doing obviously a demo. I'm going to show you guys how it works from start to finish. But this particular video, I wanted to go through and just talk about some key differences between the WAVV Power Dialer and Kixie, which I'm a big fan of. I've done multiple videos of. It's been a game changer for some of my other clients. But obviously, I always want to make sure that I'm providing you guys with the best tools possible. And, Kixie might be good for you. Maybe it's WAVV. You have to make that decision. All right. But the point of this video is just to walk through some key differences to see which one is best for your particular business. In either case, guys, I absolutely I cannot recommend it enough to have one of these types of power dialers in your business. And here's why. Because if you guys saw the interview that I did with one of my clients not that long ago, where she helped her advisors close over $5 million in brand new annuity business over the last 12 months, which actually, guys, I just saw her on one of your Facebook ads the other day, which was talking about WAVV and how it's changed her business. It was really cool to see. But the thing that she was doing different was implementing a power dialer like this. That was it. She was running the same campaigns as my other clients, the same annuity campaigns. The biggest difference was the power dialer. And the reason why it makes such a big difference is because it significantly increases the number of people, the number of leads that you're able to get on the phone. And I tell people all the time, if you could just have more conversations with people, you'll close more business. It's as simple as that. We've got automation, automated follow-up, and AI agents and all that stuff, and that's great. Okay, but at the end of the day, you have to get more people on the phone. And the WAVV Power Dialer is a perfect example of being able to do that, of a tool that allows you to do that, which is why it's so important for you guys to implement something like this, because it's one thing to generate leads. That's great. We've got that down. But we have to make sure that you're getting those leads on the phone. And the WAVV Power Dialer is a fantastic way to do it. It's really cool because it's embedded directly into HighLevel, right? Makes it super easy to set up and get started with. So that's why I'm really excited to do this video. So why don't we do like quick intros really quick, guys? Caden, so you're with the WAVV Power Dialer team. All right. Give us a quick intro and why you joined the WAVV team.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm here. I'm one of the account executives here on the team. So just help a lot of our customers do demos, kind of show them the product, kind of do exactly what I'm going to do here. Yeah, WAVV is great. Honestly, the culture in the company here is great. We are always like looking for ways to learn about our customers, implement things. So it's great to be here, and I'm excited.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you being here. Sydney, so you're actually the one that reached out initially and contacted me, which I'm very grateful for. I know it took me a couple days to get back to you, so I appreciate your patience. But quick intro and why you were excited to join the WAVV team.
Yeah. I've been at WAVE for about 2.5 years now, and I've just seen it grow exponentially. It has been so incredible. I'm with partners and affiliates. So if anyone wants to become an affiliate of WAVE, I'm your girl. It's been so incredible to watch it just grow. I mean, once we installed into HighLevel, it has blown up. I think we're the fourth most installed app in HighLevel.
Nice.
And so that's been so exciting to watch, and it's been just a fun journey to be a part of. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
excited.
cool. Yeah, I can imagine as soon as it showed up in the HighLevel marketplace, like that's like exponential growth right there, man. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, and also guys, if you don't mind, if you want to help support the channel, I'll have affiliate links down below for everything. Maybe we can hook you. I can hook you guys up with a special offer or whatnot. But if you want to support the channel, I'll have a link down below and a promo code that you can use. I really do appreciate the support, and make sure that I don't have to go a full-time job and I can just create content for you guys. I can just focus on that, right? So I do appreciate it. So I figured the best way to do this, because I didn't want this to be like just a conversation where we talk about the differences between WAVV and Kixie. I'd like people to actually see what the difference is. So I figured maybe one of you, I think, Caden, you were going to share your screen and walk us through step by step how to install WAVV and how to get started. Maybe do a quick demo of it, and as we go through that, maybe talk about some of the key differences as we're going through some of the features, like the difference between WAVV and Kixie. Think that would be all right?
Sounds great. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. I'll
Floor
jump
is yours.
here. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to do this, especially because honestly, WAVV is very straightforward and very simple. And so yeah, I'll definitely be able to jump in here and show you guys. So let me get to the install screen, and then I'll do a quick demo for you. So just like Sydney was saying, it's actually really easy to go ahead and install WAVV. We are one of the apps in the app marketplace on the agency level. So for CRM agency owners, if you jump into your agency view dashboard in the app marketplace, you actually can see WAVV right here. So we have over 36,000 downloads. Basically, you'll just click on the app, install it, and then you can select whatever sub accounts you want to enable it into. So
you can install it to multiple sub accounts.
Yeah.
Like there's not different tier like plans or anything of tiers that they have to have. They can just install it to as many sub accounts as they want.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, it's absolutely free
awesome.
to install. And you can do it into all of your sub accounts, just a few, whatever works best for you.
Nice.
And then yeah, once you do that, you will have the WAVV admin. I can jump into that and show you some of that there. But as far as like on the actual sub account level, what's great about WAVV is we actually the integration is so that we're actually embedded into HighLevel. So we have once you do install WAVV, you actually have WAVV as a sidebar menu inside of your HighLevel sub account. Everything with reports, your whole team management, numbers, local presence is all contained right inside of HighLevel. So you're not going to have to switch, CRMs. It's all just gonna be right there within one page, so you can really just spend time working, calling, follow up, having more conversations.
Well, and you don't need to connect outside software. I would say that's one of the differences right there between WAVV and Kixie is it's outside of HighLevel. Not that that's a deal breaker or anything, but this does make it quite a bit easier.
Exactly, right? That's kind of the whole goal, is have everything in one system. You and your team can just spend time right within inside HighLevel, making those calls, have those automations happen, follow up right within inside there.
Right.
Yeah, I'll get into some more potentially like with like the reports and things like that here in just a second. Let me jump into actually how to go ahead and call. So there's two main ways that you can power dial with WAVV. The first way is going to be within inside of your contacts. So you can create different smart lists, filter your contacts for however you want to go about that filtering with tags, lead types, whatever it is. And then basically you'll just come right inside here. You'll select all the leads that you want to power dial. Then select all, click this call with WAVV button, and it's going to load all of those leads into our power dialer.
And it's calling 3 people at a time, right? This is a multi-line power dialer. So 3 people at a time. You see the contacts right there. It's dialing all 3 at the same time. And then whenever somebody picks up, it hangs up the other calls. Is that it? And then puts them back into the power dialer?
Close. Yeah. So that I would say, yeah, that's one difference we have with some other dialers is, some other dialer companies, they will be able to call 3 up to 10 lines, at once. The main difference is though, is a lot of times with those companies, when a contact does answer, they actually will hang up on the other lines. We don't go about it that way. When somebody answers here, we actually continue to call the other contacts. If they answer their line, then we have you pre-record a callback message, which can be played to that person. And then when you hit resume, it'll actually call them back. So it allows you to stay on top of those who are answering, and still be able to, have that conversation with them when they're ready for it.
Oh, wow, that's cool. So let me just make sure I understand that right. So if 2 of these people picked up, you would be having a conversation with one of them, but then a pre-recorded audio message is being played for the other person. They're going to hang up. And then when you hang up with the person you're talking to, it's going to dial that other person again.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it really helps you kind of stay on top of those who are, ready to take your call, right?
Right.
And I use WAVV to promote WAVV, and this will happen a lot of times using the multi-line dialer, and it works great, honestly, to be able to still have those conversations with those people. So I'll go ahead and hit dial and show you kind of how that works. It's going to call through these three. Whoever is the first contact that answers,
Hello?
it actually will pull up their contact card inside of HighLevel. So you have all of their
No,
notes.
not right at the time. I sure don't.
You'll have all of their notes and information on that contact director themselves. You know,
It didn't sound like she was interested there.
right? I know, right?
That's the fun part about the demo.
Exactly. So,
All right, so you can do it. I really wow, that's really cool. How it brings up the contact profile of the person that you're talking with. That's really cool. Real quick, Kate, how did you get to the disposition and notes there?
yeah.
Does
So
it just automatically pop up after you end the call?
yeah, that's exactly right. So after you finish that call, this disposition pop-up will appear each time, and you will be able to disposition how that call went. Cool thing about this is you actually are able to customize these for whatever's going to work specifically for your business, right? So you can change these, you can add more and customize them, and you're able to put any notes in.
Does that get added to the contact profile notes?
It does. That's right. Yep.
Nice.
So the note will get
Nice.
added and the disposition will get added as well. And the cool thing with the integration from WAVV and HighLevel is we actually are able to, with these dispositions, it's mapped to a tag. So when I disposition this interested disposition, you can map it to a tag, and it's going to put that tag on the contact, which can then trigger any workflows, any automations you have, and honestly just do your follow-up for you. Right.
That was going to be my next question. Are we able to create different automations based on the disposition? So so it's done by a tag. So that's fine. That's easy enough. And are we able to add additional dispositions?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you can add more, you can customize them. I'll kind of show you how that mapping works when we jump into the WAVV manager there. But yeah, as you can see here in the notes section, we have the WAVV call. It's recorded. You can download it, listen to it. And then we do have the disposition that was selected and the tag that's mapped to that. So the WAVV interested tag is then added to that contact. And based off of that tag, you can have it move to a certain section in your pipeline. You can have it then send texts, send emails, create follow-up tags, and really you can just spend on the phones having that follow-up happen for you.
I love it. Okay. Very good.
Oh. And then yeah, so for these other contacts, they went to voicemail. So if you want to do a smart voicemail drop, pre-record a voicemail, it'll actually drop that voicemail for you. And then I can just hit resume and continue power dialing through that list, go 3 by 3, and just kind of have it, work, just kind of how I described it.
Where do they do the pre-recorded voicemail? Do they do that within the WAVV power dialer, or is that a separate workflow?
That's within the settings, yeah. So in the outbound voicemail here, I jumped into settings. You can you can record a voicemail, you can record multiple too. And then you can select which one you want to drop. But yeah, the smart voicemail drop is done with the default voicemail. Yeah, you can add that right in here.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah. Then the other way I would say that you can power dial with WAVV is with inside the opportunities. So if you're using opportunities to manage a pipeline, manage your leads, then you actually will have this call button at the top of each stage. So if I wanted to call back all of these leads, right, I can go ahead and hit this WAVV call button. It's going to load all of those opportunity leads into the dialer.
Nice.
And power dial through that list right there.
I really like that one. I like the contacts list too. I see that particularly useful. Like if you're importing a list, I was talking to a client the other day, guys. This is a perfect use case. If you guys are sitting on a list of contacts that you haven't, or leads that you haven't been able to get in touch with, maybe you lost contact with, and you want to do a database reactivation campaign, which I'm a huge fan of. And normally we would use like emails and texts and stuff, which you can still do, but using something like a power dialer can be even more effective because the end goal is oftentimes to get people on the phone anyway. So you could import your list into HighLevel and then just have WAVV dial out through that list. So that would be fantastic for database reactivation. I really like the opportunities tab for when like you're generating your own leads in real time. Like you can just sit in your pipeline or like maybe that's how you start your days. You go through all of your new leads. All right, with the WAVV power dialer, and then the next stage of people that you need to contact, you just call them right there. You don't have to worry about smart list or anything. So I like that flexibility. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, That's exactly how a lot of people that use WAVV do it. So, I mean, that's what we do too on our end when we're doing outreach, right? We'll spend a lot of time in opportunities, falling through that stages, good way to organize it. And yeah, with a multi-line dialer, you can get through 3 times as many leads as a single line dialer, potentially more, even if you're hand dialing. So yeah, you're going to be able to get through a lot of leads, have a lot of conversations go.
Nice. I love it.
And,
Now,
yeah.
one thing I was going to ask, if this throws you off, like if there was something specific you wanted to go through, let me know. I've got like 1,000 questions that not 1,000, but I had a good amount of questions I want to ask. With regards to real quick, the phone number, how do the phone numbers work with WAVV? Because I think one of the benefits of Kixie that I really like is they have a number pool, right? So you don't have to worry about purchasing phone numbers or anything like that. And then obviously they have number matching. So they match the outbound phone number area code to the area code of the lead that it's dialing, which is huge. I know you guys do that as well, but talk to me a little bit about how the phone numbers work and how it's different.
Yeah, great question. So yeah, similar to Kixie, we do have local presence, and we also do spam protection. It's a little bit different than Kixie goes about it. And some other dialer companies, we actually do have quite a few people coming over to WAVV from a lot of these other companies because of how we do our numbers and how we do our spam protection.
Okay.
So kind of how we go about it is you on your business side, on your team side, you actually have your own number pool. So, right, we do have local presence, meaning that, for the numbers that you have inside of your number pool, as you call out contacts, it's automatically going to pull from those numbers and display the local number for that state, for that area code, based off of the numbers that you already have. And so, yeah, with WAVV, you can add in any existing number that you already own, or you can claim numbers with WAVV. And that way, if you're calling multiple different markets, you just want to get, numbers for different markets. And then as you call out, it'll automatically numbers display the local presence.
Okay. And so to be clear, with WAVV, they're purchasing their own phone numbers, right? So that gives them a little bit more control as to what area codes they want to be using. And so maybe if somebody is dialing out to people in a couple of different states or whatnot, you would maybe pick like the top 3 to 5 phone numbers for that state. And then WAVV is going to match the closest local area code with the lead that it's dialing out to. Is that about right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly right. Yep. So
and
area code coordinates, yeah.
Gotcha. And can they do they have to purchase the phone numbers through WAVV, or can they use the phone numbers that they purchase in HighLevel?
Good question. Yeah. So you can absolutely use any numbers that you purchase in HighLevel. Any numbers from HighLevel, Twilio, you can add those in for free just with the add existing number. And those will be added to your number pool. And, as you call it, those will be used for local presence as well. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I played around with that earlier, adding the existing number. Guys, also, just so you know, I'm going to be doing lots of different tutorials about the WAVV Power Dialer. So if there's something that you wish you would see right now, drop it down in the comment section below so I know what to do in like my step-by-step tutorial demo. But like when you're adding an existing number, just so you guys know, it's going to, I believe it sends you that verification code, and then that's going to show up in the conversations tab of HighLevel. This is for if you're using your HighLevel phone number and you're adding it to WAVV. All right, that verification code will show up in the conversations tab, and then you just paste it in and it's connected. That's literally all you have to do. Just as a side note there.
Yeah, exactly. Super simple. Yeah, then once you get that verified, you'll have it in your number pool. You can use that for your business, use that for your team.
Nice. And you said you mentioned spam protection. So is that the same thing as getting rid of scam likely? Like when that shows up on somebody's phone when we're dialing out, is that the same thing?
Yeah. So what we do for spam protection is we actually go directly to the source with spam protection. So I'll show you how that works. So you can register spam protection for these numbers. And what happens is we take that phone number and we actually we've partnered with these different companies that do spam protection. So we actually go directly to the source with AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, the 3 main carriers, and we register your number with them. So once it's registered, they clean that number. It's marked as healthy. And we pull from their database daily. to check to see if that number has been marked as spam or kind of what's going on with the status there. And you're able to have like a visual board and see how your numbers are. And so
Wow,
for this
that's
example,
cool.
right, these numbers are all healthy. For AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, they've all been, healthy when we did the poll. And if they do show up as scam likely or, some spam flag on them, then this will actually show yellow for the carrier. It'll show yellow and it will have like a warning symbol. And when that happens with our partnerships, we actually send out remediation where they go ahead and they recognize, okay, this is Matt's business, this is his phone number. They remediate that. And then later that night or the next morning, you'll have it back to green. So it'll be healthy number once again. You can go ahead and continue.
Wow, that is very cool. All right. So I guess that's another big difference with Kixie. I don't know how they manage their phone numbers, but because you're using Kixie's phone numbers, you don't really have an option like this. And I'm sure they do plenty to keep their phone numbers healthy and they recycle different numbers and stuff like that. But from a long-term perspective, again, you own your own assets. Like you're the only one using this phone number, and you can add spam protection to it to make sure that it's here for the long run. I think that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, not only that too, but just like you said, right? Like these are your business numbers, and you are able to visually see that. You can see that every day. Okay, hey, these numbers are clean. You can know at any moment, kind of what's going on there.
Nice.
It's the best way that I've seen spam protection done, for sure. But yeah,
Love
that's
it.
kind of how we do local presence spam protection. And I can get into some other things like reports and stuff, but I know you have quite a few questions, so.
Actually, those were my top ones, I think. So we covered the number pool, like dealing with phone numbers, local presence. That's at the top of the list for me because I think in addition to the multi-line dialer, that's great, but the local presence is, I think, what significantly increases the contact rate, that the pickup ratio, where people are picking up the phone, they're not seeing a toll-free number, it's not showing up as scam likely. It's showing up as if their next door neighbor is calling them, right? And so your contact rates just shoot through the roof. So we cover the automations that we're able to create. It's just checking off all. We've checked off all the boxes for me. So Caden, floor is yours. Whatever else you think is important for people to see and know about WAVV and how it differs from Kixie, have at it, man.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll just show you a couple other things here. So with that spam protection too, like you're saying Matt, so you are also able to register and set your caller ID with this, and that's something like a name, a business name that can be displayed when you call out, and so that just happens at the same time when you register spam protection. A lot of people like that, doing insurance, real estate, they'll put their business name in there as they call out. Then that can be displayed to people when they call, they'll see that business name. Just helps with familiarity.
And you're real quick on that, kid. In your experience, do you find it's more beneficial if people use a business name versus like their personal name? I'm just thinking about like in my own circumstances, like when I get a phone call and somebody's actual name shows up versus the company, I'm a little bit more inclined to pick it up, even if I don't really know the person. In your experience, which one is better?
Yeah, that's an interesting question because we talk to a lot of people that go about it a couple of different ways. I would say I've heard of a ton of good examples of people that do their actual name. Specifically like in the insurance space, a lot of people will do their actual name,
Right.
just familiarity. So I have heard a lot of, good examples of people with their business name as well, but I would say probably more than that, people using their personal.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Let me just jump into some reports here. This kind of goes along with that spam protection, but inside of the reports inside of WAVV, you will totally be able to track how many calls you're making, how many conversations you're having. You can set goals on an individual level or on a team level. Track outbound conversations, average call duration, and then right along with that, the spam protection that we mentioned, you actually we do show like the connection rate percentage per number. So you'll be able to see for all the numbers that you have inside of your number pool, what's actually going on with your connection rates, right? These are all set to at 100% right now. As you can see, I made 7 calls with this number, 7 have been connected.
Wow.
You can visually see kind of what's going on and, on a number to number basis. And we have
And
found with local presence, like you're saying, local presence and spam protection together, you're going to see about a 25 to 40% increase in connection rates using those together.
right. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, so this is really cool because you can see which numbers are performing better. So are you able to prioritize the better numbers when they're dialing out?
Um, Currently, we don't have a way to like specifically prioritize those numbers. One thing that's helpful is you can see, right? I mean, if you have numbers that are performing pretty poorly, you can actually just remove those numbers if you'd want inside of a wave manager, add different numbers. And that way
Okay,
you can kind of, curate your number pool that you have to,
right,
make sure that you're having numbers with good connection rates.
right. Yeah, and just over time, you'll build up that portfolio of numbers that are connecting really well.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Nice.
Good way to visually see kind of what's going on there. And then as well as, Wave does work very well for teams, kind of tracking team performance. And then you are also able to see on a team level who's online, who's offline when they've last logged in, as well as we do have a whisper feature. So you can actually jump into a call of your team members if you're a manager, just hear what they're saying, and
Oh, cool.
even whisper to them, and give them some coaching. It's really helpful for coaching new reps, things like that.
And the person on the other end doesn't hear
Yeah,
doesn't hear the whisper. Wow, that's really cool. Love it.
yeah, exactly right. So,
Great for training.
yeah, it's great for training. Yeah, we have a lot of people who use it for training. So
Nice. Or if you're like if you work at somewhere like Grant Cardone Enterprises where he likes to hop on the call, sometimes and just close the deal really quick. Maybe you can hop on one of your team members' call really quick and just get the deal done.
exactly,
Grant Cardone style.
Dan Cardone style. Awesome. Yeah. So there's a couple of other things here as far as like how Wave works with HighLevel. The calls that you make are going to be recorded inside of Wave, and then we also do actually record them natively inside of HighLevel in the conversation tab. So these
Nice.
calls are calls that are made with Wave. They show up natively inside of there. Also going to be stored in the notes, obviously. Um, I would say just right off the bat, that one of the main reasons why a lot of people do come over to Wave is because of the fact that we are embedded into HighLevel. If you have
Right.
a team that's going to be using HighLevel, it really is going to be one of the best options for you. We have, like I said, about 35 or 36,000 downloads. A lot of people using it, loving it. So there's a couple other things, but I would say as far as like the main differences and like how the dialer works, the main thing is going to be how we're integrated, how we work right.
Yeah.
HighLevel.
Nice. Okay. I love it. Can we talk a little bit about price point? Like how does the pricing work? Because I think the way that Kixie works, if I remember correctly, like it has its kind of standard plan, and then you can add certain features on top of it, like connection boost and these other different things. So how does from a price perspective, how does it compare to Kixie?
Yeah, I can just pull it up here, and then Sydney, if you want to jump in as well, we can go over that. So yeah, with pricing, main difference is really with pricing is Wave is month to month. You can also do annual billing, but we really we have a lot of confidence in our product, and so we just offer it month to month for people. There's not going to be like any contracts that we have currently, or any like timed agreements. But as far as the pricing goes, the two main dialer options is the single line and the multi-line. The single line is $99 a month. The multi-line is $149 a month, and that's per seat. And then as well as for phone numbers, we do charge for phone numbers $1 per number per month. And then spam protection is an additional, it's a separate product, but that has some bulk discount pricing, and those are some things that we're going to be changing there as well. But as far as
Okay.
this is kind of the basis pricing.
But it's unlimited minutes, multi-line dialer. So if you get the multi-line dialer, there's nothing really extra to add except maybe the spam protection. That's it. But that you're paying per phone number, if I'm not mistaken. But there's not a bunch of extra stuff that you would add to that multi-line plan right there, right?
Yeah, that's exactly
Okay.
right. Yeah, we want to make it as simple as possible. So
Nice.
we do have a team elite plan. This is if you have over 5 people on your team, so 5 or more. And for this, we actually we give you 50 numbers for free, and we spam protect all of them for free. So if you're
Oh,
going to have
damn.
a team of 5 or more, it's a really good option. You'll have, a number all over the country if you want. Get them all spam protected for free, and you can just
Nice.
rank it on the phones.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Very good. Sydney, anything to add to that? Anything that we missed?
No, I think Kaden did such a great job. I just want to, yeah, reemphasize that there's just so many good reasons that people come to us like every day and they're like, oh, this and this and this is why we're coming to you from a different dialer. And you can see that all over our testimonials page on our website. We like to show off a little bit there, but it's just so great to be a part of a company that is just so customer focused. Like we have a page that's just dedicated to customers who want to give WAVV feedback. And so if there's ever like feedback that comes from our customers, we tell them to go and input their feedback. And that's how we actually decide what our roadmap is going to be. So we're
Right.
just very customer focused and we wanted to make it the easiest, best styler to use. And I think that that's been a really big game changer for us. And so,
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and Caden, I agree. You did a very great job. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think one of the other differences, again, I still like Kixie. Not saying anything bad about it, but I really like the simplicity of the setup, man. Like there's not a ton of bells and whistles. It's not a ton of, a huge amount of a large list of things that you have to set up and start using and connect and all that. It's pretty straightforward. You go to the app marketplace, you install it, you set up your account, maybe can set up your business profile really quick, make sure you have your phone numbers and stuff. But after that, I mean, you're pretty much good to go, right? I mean, it's not a super complicated product to start using. So I really like the simplicity. So with that said, we'll go ahead and start to wrap up. I guess the last thing I would ask, Cassidy, you guys were showing me some pretty awesome stuff the other day that's coming out in the near future. I don't know how much you can talk about it here on YouTube, but can you speak to a little bit about, like, give us an idea of some of the really cool stuff that you guys have in the pipeline right now that's coming out pretty soon?
yeah, definitely. Kaden, I don't know if I don't know if our the president would be too excited about us showing it, but we can definitely talk on
Right.
it a little bit. It will be releasing soon, and so I'd love to do a video with you in the future, Maddie. Do you want me to call you Maddie Ice?
Up to you.
Maddie
That's
Ice.
yeah, Maddie. I just that kind of stuck with me from the investment firm that I worked at a long time ago. So
I
just
love it. I
it's what
love
I
it.
go by.
So I think, yeah, Kaden, if you could kind of talk a little bit about what we're going to be calling call boards, that would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm super excited about call boards. Basically, what call boards is going to be is it's more of like a way, kind of like your pipelines or your opportunity pipelines inside of GoHighLevel. It's going to be a way where you can basically set up call boards for yourself or for your team. You can have different logic going on, and you can really just spend time calling through, your leads, have them move to different places inside of a call board. You can have different things happen, like have priority lead stack. So have, hot leads jump in during your campaign. You can set
Nice.
callbacks, things like that. It's just a really a much more robust way to manage a team, and really, yeah, spend time on the phones is kind of the whole goal, right? So spend time having conversations. So it's going to allow for that,
Nice.
allow for the callbacks, priority lead stack, all that good stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Kind of like an opportunities tab from high level, but inside of Wave itself, right? And you'll be able to do all kinds of customizations with it. Yeah, I saw a demo of it the other day, man. The thing is pretty sweet. So I am definitely excited to do a video on that when it comes out. So either way, with that said, anyways, guys, I really appreciate your time doing this. This was very helpful. Very excited to get the word, help get the word out there about Wave. I think this is going to be an absolute game changer for a lot of people. It's going to be a game changer for my clients for sure. I'm making it like almost like a mandatory tool that you have to use in order to implement the marketing system. Because like I said earlier, we've got lead generation down. That's the easy part, right? It's getting people on the phone. And I'm tired of people saying to me, Matt, I can't get anybody on the phone. Okay, well, if you're complaining about that, I get it. It happens. But this is the solution, All right. So make sure you guys are investing in your business. You're already investing in your business with high level, your marketing budgets to generate leads. Let's make sure we're getting those leads on the phone, guys. WAVV Power Dollar, fantastic way to do it. So, like I said, I'll have the link down below. Make sure you go through my code if you want to support the channel. Appreciate it. And guys, looking forward to the next one. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.